7 of the GPT leads over the Major Mitchell Plateau, Durd Durd, and is one of the longest walks on this trail. It takes anywhere between 5 to 7 hours to walk the 21 kilometers from Mount William Car Park to Jimmy Creek Road. The plateau is very exposed and often in the clouds, but has some, if not the, best views in the Grampians. There are some possible alterations at the end, and I have a few tips for sunrise. More about that later in the video. Will you hike all or parts of the Grampians Peaks Trail? Durd Cottages has great packages including trail transport for you. Durd Cottages, spacious self-contained eco-villas in the heart of the Grampians. More about them and their GPT packages at the end of the video. As this is a long walk, especially with a toddler, we started really early. This allowed us to see the sunrise from one of the most spectacular spots in the Grampians, the summit of Mount William Duwul. Actually, and this is important, just off the summit. First we walked up the paved but gated road to the summit. Once you get to the fenced-in comms tower, head around it to the north for the summit cairn. From here a footpath leads into the low shrub for 100 to 200 meters, which gets you to the cliff's edge. The views from here of Redmond Bluff, the Wonderland and Mount Difficult ranges and the plains below even feature in the current Australian passport. Once the orange light had faded, we set out to cross the plateau. It's deceiving to think it will all be downhill from the highest point in the Grampians. In fact, this trail has some 700 meters of elevation gain, but also 1400 meters descent. The trail first slowly but then very steeply leads down into Boundary Gap. This is a gnarly section with many loose rocks that takes some time. After the lush settle, we were then quite surprised to find a perfectly built stone staircase leading out of the gap. We took in the views halfway up during breakfast, nicely sheltered from the cold morning wind. There's even a bit of rock scrambling to get onto the plateau. The Major Mitchell Plateau is a huge exposed slab of rock, weathered with little ravines, gullies and knolls. There are very few trees, but the wildflowers can be impressive. We slowly but steadily climbed over rock and metal grids to the top of Durd Durd, the highest point on the plateau, and just 3 meters below Mount William Duwul. This is marked by another cairn. The views north are expansive, and if you're lucky, you can even see wedge-tailed eagles low above you. Can it get any better than this? Maybe. To call Banksia Hill a false summit doesn't do it justice. It's a fairy wonderland with totally different vegetation to what we saw the last hours on the plateau. Yes, there are Banksias here, but also one of the best views in the Grampians. From here we could see most of the national park and beyond. Oh yeah, it is different. As far as Mount William Duwul, the Wonderland Range and Mount Difficult Gar to the north. the Serra Range in its entirety and the Victoria Range beyond in the west. Mount Abrupt, Matajuk, Signal Peak and Mount Sturgeon, Wulgari in the south. The descent from Banksia Hill is difficult, even a rock scramble at first. After a few hundred meters, the trail gets easier and leads through forest to Durd Durd campground. We had lunch here before we tackled the last few kilometers over and around a series of hills. There's plenty of parking at the start of the trail at Mount William Car Park. For the end of the trail, I would park off Jimmy Creek Road, as the official trailhead at Jimmy Creek Campground adds another kilometer to your already long walk. I would rate day walk 7 of the GPT 6 out of 5 if I could. It's one of my favorite walks in the Grampians, if not Australia. There are different vegetation zones, stunning views, a deep feeling of remoteness and beautiful wildflowers along this sky trail. It can turn into a cold and miserable slog, however, if the clouds stick to the exposed plateau. So bring some warm and waterproof layers just to be sure, even if the weather forecast sounds fine. If you want to hike this or other trails in the Grampians, Wonderland Cottages will make an ideal base for your stay. With the Grampians Peaks Trail Packages, you get trail transport to and from your day's trailhead and sleep every night at your comfortable cottage. This means you only carry a day pack. Water availability on the trail is no issue. Your fridge, deck, barbecue and of course shower awaits you. NBN and electricity for your backup, recharge and communication needs. Your private washing machine and Woolies deliveries at your doorstep. And of course a comfortable bed and easy walking distance to pubs and restaurants in town. With their spacious, self-contained eco-villas, Wonderland Cottages is perfect for couples, families and small groups. Located in easy walking distance to the center of Halls Gap, yet tucked away in a quiet forest setting and bordering the national park, Wonderland Cottages makes for great wildlife viewing. Wonderland Cottages strives to minimize your holiday's ecological footprint. All toilet paper, tissues and paper towel are made from bamboo. There is a water recycling system in place. All electricity is 100% green renewable and solar is in the making. All cottages have 2 bedrooms, a large living area with fireplace and modern aircon, a fully spec'd out kitchen, a bathroom with separate toilet, 2 private decks and a private barbecue. But don't just take my word for it. Check out the great reviews on Google, Booking.com and Airbnb. For the best price and special offers, always book direct at wonderlandcottages.com.au.